Hi, this is Denise of PaperKraftD, and I am doing the first day of Junk Journal January, the first prompt, and that is cover. And I've got this really beautiful planner from Elizabeth Craft Designs, and I do not want to permanently alter the cover of this planner. This is the only planner I currently have in this size, so I want to make something that will embellish the cover without permanently changing it. Does that make sense? All right. So I'm kind of thinking that I would like to do some kind of like maybe a belly band that goes around, like with an elastic or something that goes around the interior here. And I was looking through my dies, and this set from Esther's latest Winter Bliss collection would be perfect, I think. There's January, which is right here, and I'm thinking this could look really cool, just kind of along here like this. And then I could add some other things to it to kind of embellish it a little bit more. If there's a way that I can incorporate, 2025, maybe with dies, maybe with stamps, we'll have to kind of see how that goes. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. And the color scheme that I was thinking was like, I love these papers from La Dolce Vita. So I love this paper pad. I love this color scheme. I think it looks really pretty with this kind of beige background, so or sand color background. So that's what I'm thinking in terms of color. The other thing that I'm considering on this is that I need to kind of make this a little bit stronger and sturdier. I'm worried that the paper alone will not be, will not withstand a lot of handling on the front cover. So what I think I'm going to do is, before I cut this, I'm just going to take a strip of this and I'm going to laminate it. Okay, so I am going to, I think, cut this twice, once for the exterior and once for the interior. Maybe this strip here from the planner Folio special. I love this as well. That is really, really pretty. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to go ahead and cut, this is about a little less than an inch wide, so I'm going to cut this at 2.5 inches, laminate it, and then cut this twice. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to score it down the middle while this is heating up, because I only want to laminate one side of this. Right? Yeah, it's 12-inch. Okay, so here's a 12-inch laminating pouch. So I don't need this big, huge, wampin 12 by 12 laminating pouch. So I'm just cutting off about, I guess, about 1.5 inches of the laminating pouch, and then I'm going to wrap the piece of paper that I want to laminate in this. And I don't have a carrier sheet, so I'm just going to use a little bit of some parchment paper. This is just a big one that I got at Costco. And I'm just gonna fold that in half, like that. Put that in there, like that. And then put this through our little machine. So cute. So you see, you get this nice shiny thing right here. I don't want that part laminated together. I'm sure this is going to be long enough. Yep, it looks like it is. Okay, that's good. While I had the laminator out, I decided to go ahead and laminate a strip that I could use for this die right here. And I just, you know, did the same exact process. Look how cute that turned out. I think that's going to be a really pretty color combination. Okay, so I'm just going to take my paper that I want to cut. All right, I probably am going to need to use a little bit of tape to make sure this doesn't shift at all. Looks like this probably won't shift, but it's probably a good idea to tape it down regardless. And this is laminated, so taping right over the paper is not going to hurt anything. All right, so I'm just going to, yeah, and probably taping is a good idea simply because this is laminated, and that is likely to be slippery. I'm saving the punched out letters from January, and those will come in handy a little bit later. This is what it would look like in here. All right, so I think I want to use this one on the front cover. Yeah, if I put this bottom kind of even with that, that would be right, the string will be right between the two letters, between the U and the A. I think that would look best through there. I'm thinking I'd use like some of this. So yeah, so I'll have it that like that. And then on the interior, that like that would look pretty cool too. Pretty good. I don't really want anything super thick on here because it's, I've got to be able to close it and stuff. So, and I can just butt it right up to that edge right there, and then it'll be perfect. I feel like I really, I want to include like a 2025 or something on here. Okay. So this is what we've got so far. Loving that. I want to cut out one of these. Let's see, what would be the best color for this? Either the blue or the green. I think the blue. I like the blue personally. So it looks like this Creative Memories hole punch, which I'm glad I still have, is the best fit for these circles that are on here. And then I want to use this 25 stamp on here. But that means I'm gonna have to mask off this other part that says December. So I need to make sure that I either don't ink it or mask it off somehow. I'm actually going to take a little bit of some, I always keep this wax paper handy because I use it all the time for stamping. So it's translucent. I use it for everything, but it's nice, it's translucent and everything. So I can use this there and then kind of center-ish to me. there. All right, take this again. There we go. Ink this up. This will just get the portion of the stamp that I want. Make sure to take this off. All right, here's the moment of truth. Whew, deep breath. Oh, all right. Woohoo! All right, I love that. All right, so I wanted to make a little dangle out of this cutout, and I had a bunch of these, and I guess I could have, but you know, this didn't fit inside of this side, where the metal piece was. It kind of went over the top of the whole thing, and I guess I could have glued it to this back here, but you know, that's an option, maybe for, you know, another one. But I went a different direction. I had these little ones that you can make yourself. I don't even know where I got them. They're just in my stash. So I, you know, went ahead, and of course this size was a little too small for the circle that I had. So I had to cut out some acetate. So I just made a template. I used the inside of this to draw a circle with a pencil, and then I just cut a little bit around it so that it would fit underneath the little ridge, and I used that to cut out 2 pieces of acetate. I sandwiched this die cut here between the 2 pieces of acetate. This one had, you know, has some script on it, and I added a little bit of some glitter to the interior. Not a lot, just a little teeny bit. So that's just kind of a fun little thing to put on there. And then I'm just going to like cut a little, or punch a little hole so I can put some, I don't want to go into the number and I don't want to go into this line. So I'm kind of just trying to do it right between the 2. Pretty good, hopefully. Yeah, that's not too bad. All right, so I'm just going to use that. See, I've got a whole bunch of these little things. I could use a white one. I was just thinking of using silver since that seems to be the color that I'm going with. I'm just going to quickly ink up the edges of this with some pumice stone. Now, this has open edges, right? Because it's, you know, I do use the die cut after I laminated it, so it should take some ink, a little bit of it. So I'm just going to kind of go around the edges real quick. Let's see, and then I've got, let's see, how long is this? This is 7 1/4. Cut this bottom part off. I really love this. It's like cream and it has gray and also some white script in there. There's just a lot of texture going on in there. I really love this. All right, so that's just about right. I don't want to get this ink on the planner, so I'm trying to be a little bit careful here. All right, and then this, how do we decide that if it's like that, it works best? 7 1/4. Just try. and I'm going to cut the strip that goes on the interior as well. That doesn't have a string that I have to worry about the placement of, so I'm just cutting it a little bit differently so that the holes are placed where I want them on the interior. Okay, so I really want to incorporate this word journal in here somewhere, I'm thinking. And so I'm going ahead and using this stamp from this Elizabeth Craft design stamp set, the Craftstore stamp and die set. And I'm going to use that same VersaFine smoky gray ink, and I'm using again some of this paper from La Dolce Vita what's it called? Paper pack, and it's the same paper that I'm using for the back of this. So, oops, oof, I'm just going to ink this puppy up. I haven't used this stamp before, so it might take a couple passes. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Yeah, oh, look at that. That would look really cool. And it's a different color metal, so that would kind of stand out. All right, so I just glued this journal piece to this book plate. I think this book plate's just from Hobby Lobby. I just used some E6000. I'm just letting that dry right now. And in the meantime, I'm figuring out how I'm going to attach this. And I think what I'm doing is I'm just putting these this elastic through these two holes like that. So it'll kind of go like this. And let's see. I think I added an extra hole here. These two were already here. I just measured the difference, and then I, added another hole, I think right here, so that it would work. And I'm adding another hole on the back here, and all I did was I took, I put this hole from the Tim Holtz ruler on there, made a mark, and then I used that as the top of where I wanted the hole to be. Just use my small crocodile hole, just, bonk, like that. Okay, so before I add the eyelets, I'm thinking I might want to add some of this paper to the back. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, it just pops a little bit more, I think. To do that, I just cut a strip of that paper and then glued it to the back of the die cut. And because I only laminated one side, it is not a problem to glue something to the back at all. And then I can add my little eyelets. Cool thing is I can actually add back these little pieces in here too if I wanted to. So you can see I'm just using the R as kind of a guide to help me place that little knockout piece.
for lack of a better word. And I just added glue to the back of that one piece, and then I pulled out the actual R. So that kind of made it easy to figure out where those little teeny pieces went. And so I did the same process for this part that's going to go, this strip that's going to go inside the planner, as well as the January strip that's going to go on the cover.
There we go. That looks pretty cool, actually.
And I'm just taking this string elastic and I'm going to thread it through the front and the back. I will leave a link to where I purchased this thread elastic in the description box below. It can just be found really easily on Amazon, very inexpensive. And I'm threading it through these two holes like this, and then around the back. And then I'm going to thread it through the back in exactly the same way. And I'll show you that here.
And then I want to make sure this is the same direction. Because that, you know, would be kind of a bummer if you went, got this all tied up and then it's upside down or something, right? All right, so that's going to be like that. Yep, good. And then, yeah, and then this, and this. Excellent. Okay. And now I have plenty to tie with, but I want it to be pretty tight. I don't want it to be, but I don't want it buckling. So like, I don't want it so tight that it's buckling, but I want it tight enough that, you know, there's no gap, right? So it doesn't, hopefully that's clear. Here we go. Yes, that's pretty good. Maybe a little too tight now. Loosen it up slightly. Okay, that's kind of perfect right there. I'm just going to test it before I tighten it and cut the strings. So it would just go over the top of this like this. Look at that. Isn't that cute? I love it. And it's not falling off, so that's good. It's a little bit of bulk on the inside, but I think once I tighten that up, it'll be just fine. All right, so I'm going to tighten this up and I'm going to cut off the extra strings. Okay, so now what about this?
Now I'm just cutting another piece of this cream paper for the back of this journal book plate, and I'm gonna use that as a means to kind of create almost another belly band around January. So it's gonna, you know, the January strip is going to go between the book plate and this piece of paper that I'm cutting right now, and that's how the journal book plate's going to attach.
All right.
I'm adding a little glue to the areas around where the brads will be, and just on the one side actually, and I'm gluing those two pieces of paper together, and then I'm going to put the brad through on that side and that side only.
Okay. I don't know if that's going to be wide enough. If I put this here, then that's going to go, it's going to slide. I don't want it sliding. Oh, I might have to glue it, huh? Or at least put a little bit of adhesive on the back of it, just see how that works. Because I don't know if I want to glue it permanently, but glue this portion. Yep. Okay.
And I kind of go off camera to manhandle that brad close to the back. And in retrospect, that would have been a lot easier to do if I'd just taken the belly band off of the cover and closed it with the belly band off of the cover. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually really liking that. All right, so I'm really loving the way this is going. But I kind of feel like this is really dark now and this is really light. And this is going to be light too. I feel like we need to kind of incorporate some of this dark in different parts of this. And I also kind of wanted to play off of these holes here. Okay, so I have a number of different options here. You think I have enough now? I've got this really nice silky ribbon, which I thought might look pretty on that. Got my hair straightener thing here that I use for ribbon, just to straighten it out a little bit. There we go. It's looking pretty good, I'd say. Oh yeah, that looks great. Okay. Look how pretty that looks. I love it. I really love this. I love that it kind of makes these holes darker and then just has a little peeking out here, so it kind of draws together this color throughout the rest of it. And then I'm just going to take and glue this to the bottom of that. All right. I'll cut it there for now and kind of see how that looks. I don't mind this hanging over either. For now, I can always trim it later.
So here's how the cover belly band turned out. I think it's a great way to alter your journal or planner if you don't want to make that alteration permanent. You can change these out and use the same cover over and over again. But let me know what you think. I'd love it if you leave me a comment in the description box below. And if you enjoyed today's video, please give me a thumbs up. If you like this kind of content, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed and shared this channel with your friends. I would love to have a larger community for planning and junk journaling. That is my hope and my intention. If you are looking for any of the products I used in today's video, I'll link it at the end here. Make sure to use my affiliate link for a discount, and it'll also be in the description box below. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. Again, this is Denise with PaperKraftD, and craft on.